So at bus stop 7380 Parklands on the 37 route towards the Blanchardstown Centre, brand new shelter was installed here over the last week. The original case alike or accessible 16 centimetre curbs are still present. However, the original cobble lock, which offered extra definition to blind and partially sighted passengers, has been removed. You'll see here some of it still remains, but it did offer additional definition. I understand the reason it was removed was because the NTA were citing weeds and moss and stuff getting stuck in the cobble lock. Anyway, so you can hear the echo. I know the shelter is beside me. I walk towards it, so the shelter is very much welcomed. It's good height. The test with these normally is if you can put your feet under them and stand up without having to hold on to anything. Yeah, that's good. So that's a good height for me as a passenger who's 1.84 m. On the left of this we've got handrails, two handrails, and in front of this we've an area for wheelchair users. So there's a screen here as well. I understand in the planning permission that these weren't supposed to be digital or moving screens or flashing screens, so I assume there'll be stationary screens, but whether they're paper or a display is another story. So if we walk forward here, you'll see if a passenger was getting off at what I would call the landing zone and they walk backwards, there's no dished area. So behind the bus stop there is no dished area. There's a curb, probably 10 or 12 centimetres of a curb. So at this particular stop for Parklands, you walk forward. Luckily, there happens to be a pedestrian crossing here with a dished tactile. That's for the pedestrian crossing to the opposite side, but there's also a dished area here, so you can walk forward to the opposite side. There happens to be a car in the way there, and that's the dished area there. So if you were looking for this crossing, you'll be following the wall, sweeping the cane left and right, and when you get the tactile at the dished crossing, you'd walk forward. Now something's blocking it at the moment, and when I go forward here and we go left, it'll bring us up to the pedestrian crossing. I'm feeling the grass at the edge. There we've got our cobble lock and accessible curb, and that's the shelter on the left hand side.